It's Week 7 of the National Football League, and we'll see Chris Olave. He was terrific in last week's game, finishing up with an even 170 yards. It's the Saints and the 49ers on Sunday night primetime.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap as we the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things hanging. If you're a defensive player.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs to the 43, second down. The numbers for Gibbs from last week. 13 carries, 101 yards, and a score.
And he's been a touchdown machine for this season. He's #1 in the league in rushing touchdowns. So that has to help the entire offense as a whole. Play action passes, other people have a chance to touch the football because if you're a defense, you absolutely have to key on him.
Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that good for 30 and a first? Looking to throw. Rich. Here's a diving catch right side. A good pickup there at 22.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibbs. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. An excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Gibbs again. And he is in for the score. Touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here today. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some marksmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now, they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one. Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. A lot of time to be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Rich being chased out left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll give him a new set of downs.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, formation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and we understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 13-yard line. By 13 now, they'll work on 1st and 10. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Gibbs, his second touchdown in his first half. And the Saints have taken the lead. Strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the pull of the tag, and you just have to love watching the way you can create space down there the goal line. He's able to take it into the end zone.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. But right now we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. We haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender,
There he goes, right side. A big time play there for New Orleans. 62 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from the defender.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Rich buying time to his left. And he is in the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Fans of old school football, they got to be loving this partner. All three drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all three on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is what...
The New Orleans offense set to take over. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Points certainly not at a premium here. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Brings up 2nd and 13.
Oh, now some trickery. They fake the spike.
I guess it's time to date myself a little bit because I remember Dan Marino running a similar play to this on a Monday night game against the Jets way back when. He's going to fake the spike and hope that the defense lets his guard down, but they were alert there, and this ends up incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they out onto the field comes New Orleans. 1 second, all that remains. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first,
The second. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Well, he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Partner just a second earlier, and it might have had it because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
That'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
A gain of only a yard. It's 4th down.
Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Come on, set! Ready?
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to ball that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rich. He's got it complete to Gibbs. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 41-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw. Rich. Oh, and that is incomplete.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw this inconsistent.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
He gets this down on the 21 or 22. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Operating from the gun, Rich. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Saints. And the Saints have come back with offense set to take over. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
Partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield, breaking down at the 49. Solid gain of 23. Throwing on 1st down. Rich, 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Brings up 2nd and 15.
To throw on 2nd down. Rich, from pressure, gets to him again. More than loss of 5 on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave, so they took their shot. Okay.
So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down by 9. A little under 50 seconds to go.
Ready.
On 1st and 10. Rich. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Off the play fake. Rich. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions. This is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
He's got a first and maybe more. Still on his feet. And he takes this one into the end zone. All of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side. Get that high hop.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level for both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did, and just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. So for San Francisco, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Yo, let this